All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle a huge challenge in any project, figuring out the what and, more importantly, the when. It's all about activity planning. And trust me, getting this part right, that's the difference between a project that just flows and one that hits roadblock after roadblock. So let's start with the million-dollar question. Why can't we just kick everything off on day one? I mean, it seems like that'd be the fastest way to get things done, right? Well, as you're about to see, there's a really simple but powerful reason why that's almost never going to work. And that reason? It's all about the order of operations. You see, every project is just a collection of activities that are all connected, and that word, interrelated, is the key. None of these tasks exist in a vacuum. They're all linked, and those links dictate the sequence of everything. This right here is the core principle. I mean, think about it. You can't install the hardware for a new computer system before you've even picked out what hardware to buy. You can't test a piece of software before a single line of code has been written. It all comes down to this crucial idea of dependency. And let's be clear, this isn't just a friendly suggestion or some best practice. Nope, it's a cold, hard, logical necessity. Some tasks are literally built on the foundation of others, and that creates an order you just have to follow. Getting your head around this is the very first step to building a schedule that's actually realistic. So, how do we actually talk about these relationships in a formal way? Well, it all comes down to two key terms: predecessors and successors. You can think of these as the absolute Lego bricks of your entire project schedule. First up, we've got the predecessor, and the definition is super simple. It's the activity that has to be done before another one can even start. It's basically the task that's screaming, hey, you have to do me first. Okay, check out this table. It's a perfect real-world example. If we want to get started on activity C, which is install hardware, all we have to do is look across to that precedence column, and boom, right there, it tells us activity A. That means hardware selection has to be 100% finished before we can even think about installation. It's that direct. And hey, if you've got a predecessor, it only makes sense that you've got a successor, right? The successor is simply the activity that comes after. It's the task that's waiting on that predecessor to get finished. And this diagram here, it shows you that exact relationship, clear as day. See that arrow flowing directly from activity A to activity C? That one little line tells you the whole story. A is the predecessor, and C is its successor. All you have to do is follow the arrows to see how the work flows. But, not everything has to happen one after the other. Can you imagine? That would make for some really, really long projects. This is where we get to be clever and speed things up by working in parallel. The main reason we even care about finding parallel activities is just pure efficiency. I mean, if two tasks don't depend on each other, why on earth would you wait? Doing them at the same time is one of the best ways to shave time off your project's overall timeline. Okay, let's look at our network diagram one more time. See how activities A, B, and F all just branch out from the start point? There are no arrows connecting them at the beginning. That's our visual cue. It means they aren't dependent on each other and can all get kicked off at the same time. These are your parallel work streams. Okay, so we've got our predecessors, our successors, and our parallel tasks. How do we put all of this together so we can actually see the big picture? Well, we use a tool called a precedence network. This is the official name for the kind of diagram we've been looking at. It's an incredibly powerful way to visualize the entire project's workflow, and the single most important rule to remember is that time always, always moves from left to right. And here it is, the full picture. From that start node way over on the left to the finish node on the right, this one diagram maps out every single dependency. You can literally trace the path of every task, see what has to happen first, and spot what can happen at the same time. This is your project's roadmap. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the so what? It's actually pretty simple. You can't set a deadline, you can't assign a team, you can't even make a budget until you understand the fundamental sequence of the work. Because if you get these dependencies wrong, the entire plan is built on a shaky foundation. And that, my friends, is how projects fail. So there you have it, the core logic of how activities are sequenced. The next time you're starting a project, don't just make a to-do list. Ask yourself, what comes first? Mapping out those dependencies is your first real step towards success. Thanks for tuning in.